Three, two, one. All right. So my name is Mark Aaron Ollendorf. I am from Wisconsin. I'm representing my organization my business. It's called Worldwide Love Consulting. We are specialized in the different areas around us. We specifically want to help out small businesses and make sure that people can understand that we're not going to go over to some business and rip them off or stand still. And what we do is we'll go to your business, we'll talk to you, or we'll call you, we'll do follow-ups with you. Specifically, we would like to work with churches right now, and not just churches, but if a restaurant or say a business sells popcorn, or if another business sells some sort of car service and they're having a hard time and they need to know how to get their business out there more. Well, they will come to us, they will call us up and say X, Y, and Z, this is what we're wanting you to do. I have a couple people who are already entrepreneurs and they specialize in business. They already have business degrees. I have a bachelor's degree. I have mine in history and my minor in geology. I also have a CJ, which if nobody knows what that is, I have a criminal justice degree. I am very smart. I've tried working with the government. COVID hit, and so I came up with this idea because I'm very good at business. I've been in security for 3 years of my life. I have dedicated my time and my efforts for the public, and I deserve my own company to be out there and to talk to people and to tell them that not everything is going to be awful. We just uploaded a video. I didn't want it to be too graphic. I wanted it to be just kind of image, just so that people could get a glimpse of the sort of destruction that the riots had done. I am mostly on Facebook. YouTube is a little bit more sensitive in how things are displayed. So I've been working up for the last two and a half months to be on here. And I'm just trying to give them free service if people need help with some kind of, maybe some legal advice, how to prepare for a case. Or my bread and butter right now, though, is consulting, because my father was a CEO and a CFO of a huge organization called Brookdale Senior Living. They were the biggest healthcare company that our country has ever seen in the last at least 10 years. They had at least over 100,000 units across the United States. They've had, thousands of buildings that they own, which were old retirement homes, huge ones. So my father had taught me, he had his name on thousands of liquor licenses. He had his name everywhere. And he taught me that you have to ride the bull by the horns. And you have to take it, and you have to just go with it. Sometimes in life, it doesn't make sense at first. You might get one viewer, you might get two, you might get three. But my point in my production isn't to get a whole lot of business this year. Point of this year is to grow and to find out what I can do better, and what I'm really good at. And I'm really good at getting myself out there. I'm somebody that is getting support on all ends of the spectrum. I have people all over the globe that have been waiting for me to drop my brand. I need to get legal first. And so that's what I'm working on with my lawyer, because that's what it takes. It takes thousands and thousands of dollars to become legalized, to be somebody that can be certified in order to talk to people, businesses, and entrepreneurs. And it's just a better way of knowing that there's different programs, and eventually I want to get into more photography and probably do our own drone videography, but dronography, which is the future of marketing, which you cascade, you look over the big lands of your community, or maybe there's a house, or or you do a shot from the sky, which is a lot cleaner. It's a little bit more crisper than a lot of these photos that just come up just like this with face value, because everybody can take a photo, but it takes a very smart person to know if this is a better image than this. But to me, this is a better image because you can concisely see, and it's more precise. See, it's the shadows that a lot of people don't understand, that it's the camera when it comes down. So you learn all these things along the way. And I'm teaching myself all of this stuff along with my friends, because my business partners as well, because when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're doing it perfect way. My grandfather always said, if you're not going to practice perfect, then why even bother? I mean, it's just with anything. You have to figure the time and the money part, and then you have to find some time for your family, if you do have a family, or yourself, your health, and God. Because to me, God is the number one reason that I get up. It's the number one reason that I'm grinding all the time. I work 4 days on, I work 3 days off, but then I'm working. I'm doing this. I'm grinding. I'm consulting people. I'm telling them, hey, this is what we got to do. We all got to get up in a huddle. We got to take care of the Native Americans. We got to take care of the veterans in America. We got to take care of, the blacks, the Chinese, the whites, the Chicanos. I mean, everybody matters. It's not about President Trump, Joe Biden. It's election year. At the same time, people gotta just understand that this is gonna get better. Like this rioting, it affects everybody, and that's why we went out to Kenosha, because that's in our backyard. That's why me and my partner, we decided to go out there and do that. It's a very good description of what we do, what he specializes in. He has a marketing degree. He's very smart. He knew exactly what to do. We picked 2 to 3 businesses we stopped by, because a lot of these businesses were closed down. That's just what happened with the riots. But we had simply showed up, did what we did. We went right over to a couple of different police officers. We asked them what's going on. Why is there so many people? Well, apparently Joe Biden stopped by, but we're not politically affiliated people. We're trying to just help people out in a very hard time of their lives. And there's a lot of blueprints that we can come up with that are going to help out specifically different businesses, but under the same umbrella, it's all going to be the same, because people need to understand how to get business again. COVID-19 has completely changed everything. It has changed the way we look at everything. It's completely done away with us all. We have lost everything in this country in what we think. And I realized it was a perfect opportunity to come up in the world and literally show my face. I would rather be standing right here in front of you than working a 9-to-5 job, because I know I can do this. Because I have the support of not only my outer family, but a little bit of my inner family. Maybe not my father completely, but my mom. And my dad he doesn't believe that I can do it, because he thinks it takes tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars to start a business. It does not. It takes one idea, and it takes one really smart person. When you have an idea, you have a smart person, you meet in the same room, and you say, and that's really what it comes down to. It shows that we are different. I don't see anybody else going to these areas as a business and saying, what else can we do for you? We've called up the church out there. When these riots hit, the number one problem? People weren't trained. People were like, what's all this? If we all treated each other the same, life would go on. It would be that consistent da 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 da. And that's what we are. Eventually, when we get better at this, we're going to be doing nothing but live videos for you. Sometimes we're going to edit them. It's not up to par. It's my first time in like a little while since I've edited a video and put it up on YouTube. It's been years. But to me, what really stands out is that we have heart. We have a lot of different countries that need this right now. We need a blueprint. If there's anybody else out there that has ideas and that wants to step forward and help us out, we would be obliged. We are trying to give to charity. How can you give to charity if you don't have the money and the funds? That's our dilemma. But I have enough to where I can get the t-shirts eventually. I can get, my lawyer to get my licenses and stuff, and that's fine. But we're going to be here for a long time. We're only getting started. We're on the rise. I have to give a mad shout out to somebody by the name of Tori. She is battling something internally, and I can't imagine. Every single day, it's very hard for her. Every day, it's very hard for a lot of people. But when you're sick and you can't deal with that, you don't know how to, well, I hope they wake up and they look at me and they're like, no matter what he's doing in his life, he's living, he's smiling, laughing, he's enjoying it. That's what I've been good at. I've been good at just knowing what to say, knowing what to do at the same exact moment, because those moments are precious to me. The time that I have, I hope it helps somebody. I hope I reach everybody. I hope that, I'm the next Gary Van, and I'm going to tell everybody I love you. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to like all of the stuff you've told me, and I'm going to say thank you very much. I love you, and that life is amazing. If you have a lot of people step away from you, and you are an individual like me, which most aren't, but you're struggling, if you've had depression, and you thought that your life was going to go out the window, the best years are ahead of you. The best years are ahead of you. You can literally pick that phone up of yours, and you have a whole entire world in there. You have access to the internet. You have access to YouTube. You have access to a lot of different things. Of course, be appropriate when you're doing these. Dress professionally. Don't dress like everybody else does. Okay? Just don't do it. Dress to impress. Dress that like you're going to a full-time job. Somebody's going to view you. Somebody's going to look at you and say, I want to sponsor that person. That person knows. There are professional people that go through streams on a daily basis, and they find hashtags, they find people, and they get recruited. That's what I'm hoping to do. I'm going to get recruited because my voice is going to get heard. A lot of people, they want to try to understand what I'm doing, but they fail to realize that we're everywhere, that we are people. I'm very fortunate to be able to reach out to you tonight and have the time. There's a lot of people that they don't have that. They don't have that luxury. So anyway, back to the business part. Worldwide Love and Consulting. Literally pick up the phone for you. We'll sit there for an hour or two. We'll have a Zoom meeting. We'll talk. We'll do whatever we have to do during this COVID-19. And it's only going to get that much bigger. I'm going to be volunteering next week to help out with the food pantry, and that's the charity that we want to give to, is Feeding America. When I get even better at this, like possibly tomorrow or in a few days, take all of this and add some other stuff in there. And when the world needs somebody, we, the people, will step in there for you. There's nothing like having people that care. If you feel empathy, if you have compassion and kindness, you're going to have everybody. Okay? Guarantee it. A lot of these sponsorships are, like Nike or the big ones. I'm not after big sponsorship. I'm after the middleman. I'm after the people that literally sit there day in and day out, like Milwaukee Tools, for example, or somebody who's for the blue-collar man. I've been working on blue-collar jobs for a long time. The internet's been a peak of an interest of mine for a very long time. But to be able to put out my ideas, my videos, and to put out, hey, for example, I watch First Amendment audits. I believe that it's our God-given right to keep the police in check. But at the same time, we also have to understand as citizens, the police officers have jobs. All right. But we as Americans also have that freedom. We have a freedom of press. I have a freedom to put my information out there for you as a citizen, and that it will reach you, hopefully. And that everything that you know is going to get that much better. Everything that you know now will double, it will triple. I go by threes. I go by the Trinity. Because if we try to overly complicate our lives, that's where everything goes right out the window. But my biggest thing, though, this year, for the end of this year, is people need to be more aware that women have a higher right this year. They've been suffering enough, and what does that have to do with this? It has everything, because men and women need to be created equal. They need to have that in, law and order, in this country. Like, we shouldn't be all having to have riots. We shouldn't have to depend on Congress. We should be depending on the people. This country was founded on the people. And if people have questions about that, I will literally step in and I will literally mediate for the people. And why is that? Because it's very important to me that this country has an underground basis, endless connections. That's what we have. All my friends are in high places. Some of my friends are in low places. I'm just coming out here as a man. I've been studying this stuff for years. I've been just putting my knowledge in my brain. I've had many years of experience in many different jobs. Worked in transportation. I've worked with children before. I've worked with a historical society. I've volunteered with fire police, fire, EMS. I've had the privilege of being a part of SWAT before a little bit, knowing how they do it. I've had experience in transportation with big trucks, 18-wheelers. I've had the privilege of working in security for several years and getting my CJ at the same time. I've worked with intelligence. I've done some training with disaster, being able to be certified in some of these. I mean, and regardless of not certifications. I mean, the one that I'm really proud of all time is suicide awareness and de-escalation, but at the same time is first aid and AED, because those are the ones that really happen. You know, if somebody goes into a cardiac arrest and they're going under cardiac arrest, what do? You probably punch a hole in the little side noggin so they're not dying. And yeah, I know it sounds like they might die, but they won't. Okay. And a lot of problems that we have nowadays too is drugs. So you gotta look at how the human heart is. Sometimes you have to put a defibrillator. Sometimes you gotta put Narcan. I mean, it's just some troubled times we live in. But that's why I'm rising up as a leader in the community, is because people need this. They need to know that they will be taken care of. Those people that are the homeless, the people that don't understand, because we need better resources. It's reaching out to community leaders that have the power to say, well, that's going to be in the budget. Thank you very much, Aaron. Thanks for coming by. Say I go out to Waukesha and I go to their hall, or I go out to the village of where I live at and I say, hey, can you please? And they put that in the budget. It might seem ridiculous that the fire department has to mandate how they do their training now, but it doesn't matter. That's the sort of basis that I want to build, that no matter what area that I go into, no matter who I hire, no matter who's under me, they're always going to be right here. We are in equal society. Nobody's above in the round table. Nobody's beneath me. We're all equal. Everybody has a right. My friend, I can always figure out how to get $100. I can always figure out how to get 1,000. I can always figure out how to get 10,000. So I got to work 3-4 months. Save up. I'll do it. I've been doing it. Oh, so I got that much money over here. Let me bring it over here. Okay. We're done talking about money. Let's talk about you. Hopefully you find this very interesting. Hopefully a lot of you want to enjoy your life and, And that's just how this goes. I enjoy I enjoy going live here and there. And the most powerful thing I can leave you is namaste. I hope that, as I always do, namaste to you all. Namaste over there. Namaste here, there. Because if we're all about peace and serving people, people will approach us. And when we come in peace, that's what I hope a lot of you. And I hope that you find that helpful. I hope that everything else helps you out. I hope that you stop listening to so much of this news and the COVID and you just live your lives. And I hope that some of you approach me, and eventually I'm just going to keep doing this. It's grind, repeat, grind, repeat, grind, repeat, grind, repeat. And that's just the way this is. I'm going to try to do this at least once a week underneath my schedule. I'm going to try to go live here and there now on YouTube, because YouTube is got a little bit more of an audience than Facebook, because Facebook to me is a little bit more, it's kind of losing its fans a little bit, but it's more social and private. And I hope you subscribe, you hit that like button. You eventually I'll get some other, material, and I'll put it up here. I used to upload on YouTube like crazy. I mean, I used to do this all the time. I might upload an older video of me when I was meditating like 8 years ago, and it's actually kind of cool. But I'm very different than I was 10 years ago. I went through my little major pagan phase, and my meditation Buddha phase, and so. But I've been through the ventures of all those things, because in order to be a CEO, in order to be on the top, you have to show people that you can be open about that stuff. You can be non-judgmental, non-biased, they say. But as I said before, namaste. Thank you for coming to my channel. I hope that you all like my video, you share my video, and it's Kenosha. I hope that, we rise through the phoenix through this together, because I was talking to so many people, and it's just, me and my friend, we were like two of the whitest kids on the whole freaking block out there. We went out at least 10, 20 blocks, and at least 30, 40 of them, maybe 50. And we were just walking around, and it's just like the devastation, the destruction. I'm so fortunate to not have to worry about that in my community. I'm blessed. I'm glad that there's so many people that are reaching out and that are going to be reaching out. I'm very happy about this, and eventually there's going to be a lot more people too. And my partner is very proud of me. He's, he doesn't say it, but he keeps that right where, but he's a marketing major. He's so smart, and that's just how it is. We're going to be fully legal very soon, and the name will mean something, as it always has. But but people need me. I believe this has an inbox. I'm not very familiar with YouTube yet, but pretty sure people can hit me up in an inbox. In my other video, I do have my email. And honestly, it really doesn't matter. I get so many emails a day. I just, doesn't matter to me how many people hit me up, 1,000, 100. It wouldn't matter. Eventually, if it's 1,000, then I'm gonna have to get a new email. But teach their own. You know what I'm saying? Teach their own, and that's to be expected. It's just the way it goes. Once you become, successful, and so. But I wish a lot of you very well, and hopefully it helped you out, and it helped me. This is a lot different. This is to me, this is a more professional platform than going on Facebook, because you get traffic from all over. And I thank you very much, YouTube, for being around. I mean, you guys do a great job, especially protecting the children and stuff. So, but as I said before, namaste. And but I will like to say this: my friend will eventually have we're gonna do, I think, a series on music, and we're gonna be doing a lot more. And a lot of people are gonna hear what Worldwide Love Productions is. Eventually, we're gonna be expanding when we can. And we're just going to help out musicians. We're just going to help them out. We're just going to be a platform, and they can reach out. And if they want this kind of music, we just say, here, here's a beat. There you go. Everything's better with drums, though. But I'm very good at photography and all that, and editing. I mean, I'm already starting to get a lot of people that have already noticed, how can you do that? And I'm like, well, actually, I actually just did this all with my phone, pretty much. Other than this is on my laptop, but I'm very good with this stuff. And I actually had an ex-girlfriend of mine who taught me all the whole craft. I actually have Adobe on my phone, and I actually can go in there and edit every section of it. I can add whatever I want in there. It's pretty cool. But other than that, I wish you all very well tonight, and I look forward to this. Hopefully we're all building, and hopefully we're all growing, and as a community, as a YouTube community, as I gotta call this, and eventually we'll be out there together, and hopefully maybe I'll eventually get to the major platforms that a lot of these YouTube people have. So y'all have a great night. You be safe out there, and don't give up on your hopes and dreams, because I know I did.